Just a quick update. So my solution is going to be, it's already in progress, but I'm using a 30-second drill bit to drill a hole through. You can't see it here because I have the lower grill screwed on in these areas already, the places where there had been a previous repair, but where the factory plastic welds the lower grill onto the fascia. I'm actually going to put these short number 8 screws with the large hats on them. But using a 30-second drill bit, you can kind of see I drilled a hole right there, but that's when I was going to put 2 screws in each location, but it doesn't need to. But you can get an idea of what I did there. You got to be careful. If you decide to do this, it's up to you, and if you even need to in the first place. You got to be careful when you're drilling because you don't want to end up, that's right on the edge of the exterior chin or lip, if you will. So you want to drill in such a way that, look at the other side, so that you end up in this hollow right here. Okay, so you're catching a little bit of this bumper tab and catching a little bit of the lower left and lower right grill trim. So you're kind of drilling a hole that splits this bumper tab and the grill trim, keeping the hole inside this hollow right here. Because once again, immediately to the top side, I don't know if it picks up on camera, see how you can see through that gap and see my finger? You don't want the drill bit to go through there, else you'll have a hole in the exterior of your fascia. So this is going to be my solution. I'm going to put these screws in it. It already, seems pretty tight. I've lifted, this whole side of the fascia up by the lower grill piece that I've screwed in. But for safety, I'm going to take it a little bit further and actually use like a plastic welding rod. And I'm going to melt that plastic welding rod. I don't know, probably go ahead and melt some, in here, just for extra. Or, I might partially melt it across the screw itself. I don't know. Right now the screws are pretty tight and holding it like pretty good. I could probably leave it at that, but I'm not. I'm going to go a little bit further. I'm definitely going to use the plastic welding rods and weld this back together the way that it should be. This one's burnt off from where, from a previous repair attempt. They messed that up. So I'll probably use some of the really thin steel mesh to melt into this, and then use a plastic welding rod to weld it all back to here. But so that's going to be my solution. It's pretty strong. I can, just with the screws I've put in it, I can move the whole fascia. So where I thought this was going to be a pretty significant challenge, turns out I think it's going to be a pretty easy fix. I don't know why Alfa just didn't design this in the first place to have some screws in it. Makes it easier, in the event that someone like me has to do, what they're doing. Especially if you have to buy a new bumper cover and the bumper cover doesn't even come with this attached. Who other than some kind of professional is going to be able to, plastic weld this back to a new bumper cover? If nothing else, a new bumper cover should come with this already. If they want to use plastic welding, it should come already plastic welded to the bumper cover. That would also mean that it would have to include these grills, and so I guess in some way it makes sense for it not to. But again, I still maintain that this is a, crappy, stupid design, because this, plastic welds over the top of this trim piece. So when you buy a new bumper, I guess for the sake of keeping costs down, it comes without this and without this, but this is necessary for the fascia to bolt to the car, and it attaches to the fascia with a plastic weld. So what ordinary person is going to be able to, handle that? But ordinary person like me. So anyway, I'm going to continue. I'm going to go ahead and, put my drill holes in this side and put the screws in, and I'll call it a day. I just got home from work, so I don't intend to work out here very long today. But we're coming up on a long holiday, so I'll probably get this whole thing done and back on the car. Definitely before the weekend, So now this is going to be, the bigger challenge, but I have an idea about how I'm gonna do it, and I think it'll suffice. It'll be better than what it is now, which is completely detached from here, to here. But all right, so that's where I am. More to come.